Have you ever seen a rabbit hold its own against a cheetah? You know, those graceful yet ruthless predators that make everything in the jungle their prey? Well, there's a story I'd like to tell you about a cheetah and a rabbit, but not just any story. Oh, no. This one has a twist that will make your whiskers twitch with surprise. So picture this. The jungle had fallen silent. The birds froze, mid-song monkeys clung to branches. Even the insects paused their buzz. Every living thing was locked onto a clearing, bathed in the warm glow of the afternoon sun. There, crouched low behind the tall grass, was a cheetah, its golden fur blending with the dry stalks. Its eyes, two emeralds locked on to a lone rabbit that was casually drinking beside a muddy pool. This was no ordinary hunt. The cheetah hadn't eaten in days, and the whole jungle seemed to be holding its breath, witnessing the fastest predator on Earth preparing to strike. But here's the twist. The rabbit, despite being smaller than the cheetah's paw, twitched its ears, sniffed the air, but didn't run. The cheetah inched forward, muscles tense, tail low, waiting for that one perfect moment to pounce. But instead of finding an easy meal, the hunter found confusion. The rabbit stood still, almost inviting the cheetah to come closer. Just as the cheetah decided to abandon the hunt, puzzled by the rabbit's strange behavior, the rabbit made its move. It bolted, not in a straight line, but toward the thorniest part of the forest, weaving between roots and vines as if it had memorized every inch of the terrain. The cheetah, taken aback by the rabbit's sudden dash, hesitated for a moment, then took off after it. The chase was on. The jungle woke up with a start. The hunt had begun. Leaves rustled in alarm, tree roots trembled, and insects buzzed in excitement. The cheetah was fast, faster than anything alive, a blur of golden fur and white underbelly. The rabbit, though quick, couldn't match the cheetah's speed over long distances, so it zigzagged through tunnels, slipped under logs, and vanished into a thicket only it could fit through. The cheetah followed, its breaths coming in quick succession. It leaped over logs, crashed through bushes, and tore after the rabbit, determined to catch its meal. Yet with every bound, it fell further behind. And all the while, the jungle was watching, buzzing, hooting and screeching commentary that only animals who lived in the wild could understand. Suddenly, the rabbit darted across a shallow swamp. It stopped on the other side, turned around and looked back at the cheetah. The cheetah, confused by the rabbit's sudden halt, slowed down. Why stop now? Then it saw the mud. Too late. The cheetah stepped in and sank. Its paws were stuck in the thick black sludge. The rabbit, just a few feet away, stared back, breathing hard but unharmed. The cheetah roared, struggling, slipping, humiliated. The rabbit watched calmly for a moment, then turned and hopped back toward the trees, disappearing into the green maze. From the treetops, monkeys screamed in shock. Birds flew out in disbelief. Even the hyenas, who had been quietly watching from the shadows, let out sounds that were half laughter. The jungle had just witnessed something rare. Not brute strength, not overwhelming speed, but cunning intelligence defeating power. After a few moments of stunned silence, the jungle erupted. Monkeys chattered excitedly, birds squawked their disbelief, and insects hummed with admiration for the rabbit. For the first time in anyone's memory, a rabbit had outsmarted a cheetah, and in front of the whole jungle, no less. The cheetah, shaken with anger and humiliation, finally freed itself from the mud and limped away. It was defeated, not just by a rabbit, but by a rabbit that had used its wit and knowledge of the land to turn the tables. The rabbit, victorious but tired, returned later to the same pool. It drank deeply, feeling the cool water trickle down its throat and refresh its body. The jungle, which had been so noisy just moments ago, was now eerily silent. Every creature was watching the rabbit, but this time they looked at it differently. The rabbit, despite being small and seemingly insignificant, had just displayed courage and intelligence that belied its size. It had read the cheetah's intentions, understood its own limitations, and used every trick in its book to outsmart its predator. The rabbit, satisfied after its drink, hopped back into the thicket. As it disappeared from view, the jungle began to stir again. The birds resumed their songs, the monkeys chattered amongst themselves, and the insects hummed back into life. But the air had changed. There was a new respect, a new understanding. From that day forward, the rabbit was no longer just a small animal trying to survive in the wild. It was a hero, a symbol of courage and quick thinking. And the cheetah, once the undisputed king of the grasslands, had to face the humbling truth that power and speed weren't everything. Sometimes the smallest voice can echo the loudest in the heart of the wild. Stories like this are more than just tales. They're echoes of life, lessons whispered through the ages. They remind us that it's not always the loudest or the strongest that wins, but often the most resourceful and the most determined. Each animal in the jungle, big or small, played a role in this drama. The cheetah with its raw power, the rabbit with its wits, the hyenas with their patient observation, the birds with their keen eyes, and the trees with their silent, sturdy strength. All of them contributed to the story that day, a story of survival, courage, and outsmarting your opponent. I wonder how many of you were rooting for the cheetah. And how many were cheering for the rabbit? Let me know in the comments below. Did you see the rabbit's cleverness coming? Was the ending a surprise to you? 2. You know, our world is full of lessons like these, hidden in everyday occurrences. If we have the eyes to see them, that's why it's important to keep listening, to keep observing the world around us. Whether it's the bustling city or the quiet countryside, adventure is everywhere, and wisdom is often hiding around the corner. If stories like this light up your imagination and teach you something new, then I invite you to join our jungle family. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the tale, share your thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't already, subscribe to become part of our adventure-filled community. With every new story, we're creating a wilder, wiser world together. So until next time, remember, the smallest voice can echo the loudest in the heart of the wild. Thanks for listening.